So hello there, welcome back to Two Idiots, and today we're going to talk about Speed Racer, the 2008 mega bomb from the Wachowskis that came out for about a week, I think, and then was gone instantly, and that was it. You had to basically rush to see it and then hope for the best. Really, I mean, it was one of those films that was just basically out for a very short time. Did you see it in release?
No, I didn't see it until I bought it in Blu-ray.
Alright. I saw it in release. I was
I'd have liked to have seen it in the cinema.
Yeah, I think it's a case of, it's one of those films that, I wish you introduce yourself first, actually, before we start this, because we just went into it. I'm Peter, and this is...
James.
Yeah. Are you trying to remember your own name there?
A wee bit.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's been a while since I spoke to another person.
Yeah, it's like, who am I? What is going on here?
Who am I, really?
Yeah. So, it's one of those films that it had a weird set of trailers, and I understood that what it was going to be, and it kind of just came out and no one went to see it. But it's got a cult following since its release. I think it was a case of people got it after it was out. I think it came out just after Iron Man. I think Iron Man just killed it because Iron Man was a massive hit. And then it came out just also after Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which, this is a far better film than that. This film deserved to make the money that film made, really, because not the best indie film. You don't like Indiana Jones films anyway, but that was not a good film. Yeah. So So what made you want to see it in Blu-ray?
Well, I always wanted to see it because I was quite a fan of the films that they'd made beforehand, and I liked the look at it. So I remember seeing the Blu-ray for quite cheap. I picked it up and I loved it.
Yeah.
And in fairness, though, I've only seen this movie twice. The first time I bought it and I watched it and I loved it, but it's one of those films I don't want to overwatch, so I watched it for the second time last week. I would have seen it again by now. I wanted to watch it with my wee boy, but we've just never had the time to watch it.
And then we're in lockdown, really.
I know.
So,
which is why I watched it again.
Yes.
I thought it was great.
Yeah. The weird thing is, seeing you see in the cinema, is that colours aren't as bright in the cinema because the way it was projected, it was shot a certain way. I don't think it had the same impact as you get it in the smaller screen where you've got digital and you've got it all colour corrected properly. But the cinema looks good. It really does look good, but it doesn't have that kind of feel to it, that kind of hyper bright feel that you see all the colours perfectly that you do in the Blu-ray. So it's kind of weird. But I'd love to see it again in the cinema to see. It might have been the projectionist, because I saw it in the Odeon, and sometimes they're hit or miss depending on the film. So it may have been a bad projection, because I've seen films twice in two different places where you see them in one place that looks amazing, you see another place it looks terrible. So it's could be the projectionist not having the right thing. But yeah, I adored this instantly. I mean, I was a fan also of the earlier films. I liked The Matrix, I liked Bound, I liked the Matrix sequel, so I was into the films. And so
Vendetta as well.
I know. Well, they didn't direct that one. They just wrote it and produced it.
Their name's on it though.
Yeah. They might as well have directed it for how much control they had over it. So this was their big film after the Matrix trilogy had come out. This was their return to directing, and a lot of people had out for them at that point. I think they're in a much better place now because no one has out for them anymore. But this is just after the Matrix, and it was like these films all made massive amounts of money, and a lot of people didn't like the third one, and it was like that's how you ended it. So I think there was a lot of kind of backlash waiting for them. And this was the film that just got it. This was like everyone kind of unloaded in this film when it first came out because it was like, it's not realistic looking at all. It's a stylized film, which a lot of people don't like. That's kind of thing.
It's basically live action anime.
Yeah. A lot of people don't understand that. I mean, they should have got it because the Matrix was live action anime as well, but more darker version of that. And the Animatrix was actual anime set in the Matrix world. So this time they just went further and had lots of bright colours for the anime. And it turns out
Yeah,
people...
it's probably the most colourful movie I've ever seen.
There aren't many that can top it for colours. I think that's
Not animated anyway.
yeah. I think that's what kind of put people off, because it was just seemed too colourful and too bright and too happy looking,
Yeah.
and just obviously not realism like at all. There was no attempt to be realistic. It was cars doing things cars can't do.
Yeah.
You know, and just pure on fantasy world. And
Yeah, the cars are amazing in this film though.
yeah.
It makes me want a Wacky Races movie more than anything.
Yeah, because there's a middle section in this film that's pretty much Wacky Races. The bit in the desert, it's Wacky Races. It's just like obviously inspired by that kind of 60s animation from America. Those kind of cars doing crazy stuff. Before that, it's more of a the races are much more like over stylized racing things where people do weird bridge jumps and they can go do 360s and stuff. But when it goes to the desert, it goes full on Wacky Races for a bit before it has to go back down to be a bit more normal for the finale. But that's where they get to have their fun and just go crazy. And also, I think because it was so broad, the characters were so like one-dimensional, so defined by what they looked like. Like your Pops Racer, Mother Racer, Speed Racer. It's such a stylized look at them. It's like it's not even trying to be realistic.
No, John Goodman's great at it.
I know, he's so good.
Yeah.
And he's it was funny because I mentioned before we started here that I just watched Dr. Dolittle, or the Dolittle film, and that was like what you don't. That was meant for a kids' film, kind of like Speed Racer, but it was what you don't do for a kids' film. You don't have lots of stuff that don't make any sense. You don't have lots of boring scenes. This film just keeps it going. So yeah, I would say now I accidentally turned the recording off there. So we'll go back to what we're talking about. We only lost by a couple of minutes, so it's not a big deal. And James is laughing at me, the smug git. Right. So we're talking about how annoying the kid was. Like
Very.
Like he was the worst part of it. It was just an annoying character. I don't think kids like those kind of characters either. I don't think kids like other kids as characters. It's a weird thing. They don't like it. And this kid, I don't mind the monkey, just the kid there's too much of him. It was just...
They never explained the monkey. The monkey's just a monkey for the sake of being a monkey.
That's what I liked about it though, is the monkey is a monkey, and I liked the bits, how when they suddenly, I imagine them having fights and they had the background change and they were having these enemy fights and stuff. That was fun.
That was
but it's when it was just trying the hijinks of trying to get the sweets all the time and going through the villain's lair. It wasn't as good. It just was a bit...
Wasn't good.
No. It just got in the way, and it actually just annoyed me because it was a bit that slowed it down, because I think it was a case of they were worried that people would be bored by talk of the corporate world and who owns the car races and things and all that stuff, and which would be fine actually, because I don't mind that stuff even as a kid. It was part of the adult world. You would find it and you'd be like, oh, that's interesting, that's something new. And it wasn't on for that long, because in between even those speeches you'd have car chases. Like in the middle of that speech they have a 3-minute car chase going around some place, and seeing Speed Racer them try to kill Speed Racer. So even for the speech they had a big car chase. So it's not
explaining what's going to happen.
Yeah, and they used that to really give a sense of the world, but also meant we're not getting slowed down ever. I mean, the introduction to Speed Racer, you actually get like flash forwards, flashbacks, seeing all about his brother, all about how he met Christopher Ricci's character, who's his girlfriend, how his brother died, what it meant to his dad, all that stuff. So it was all pretty much explained in that one 20-minute sequence at the beginning, which I thought was wonderful. It really worked in the cinema when I saw it in the cinema, because that bit just come back and forward. It was really, really terrific in the cinema. Like, any stuff in the cinema really was, like, anytime you saw a car chase, it was always amazing. Which is why you want to
I
see
think
it.
it would work great in 3D, but it's a shame that there's no 3D Blu-ray.
No, but you'd have to, like, transfer it over. It was a massive bomb. So before I cut us off, you were talking about the villain. You might like the villain.
Oh, I really liked him. I thought he was great. Smarmy bastards.
Well, that's what you need in a villain. You need to hate them. You need to want to see them punched and destroyed.
Aye.
That's kind of what you want in a villain. Is like well, to me, the kind of villains I love is not the guy in RoboCop where he gets plonked in all that sewage and he ends up melting. And you think,
Aye.
yeah, you deserve that. That's what you want from a
Aye.
villain. You want a villain to be so hateful that no matter what happens to them, they deserve it. And this guy's that. Plus, he's playing it as a pantomime villain almost for the children.
Yeah.
You know? So he's like he's in these purple suits and he's playing it up and he's slightly overdoing it like you would in a children's film from like the 60s.
He's like an evil Ricky Gervais.
Well, Ricky Gervais is an evil Ricky Gervais, isn't he?
Was it not the same guy that played the Prime Minister in V for Vendetta?
Yep. Or he played a guy who's a commentator about,
Aye.
and he's also the guy from The Thick of It. We watched that. So he's in a lot of stuff. He's one of those actors that always pop up, but
Yeah.
he's really good in this. He really has a lot of fun playing the oily guy who can talk a lot and who is up to no good and who enjoyed putting people in the place so that you'd know that I'm your boss and you do what I tell you. He loves doing that, and it's funny to see him
Right.
try to be nice for a while and then all that comes off. And
Quickly.
yeah, and especially at the end when something goes wrong for him, how he just turned into a total tantrum, seeking, just like a child basically, throwing stuff, and he turned into a big.
Smashing it up.
What?
Just smashing stuff.
Yeah, it was so funny because basically he's an overgrown child.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful. It's just a really weird character that is just hateful, just completely hateful. Now John Goodman and Susan Sarandon are the parents of Speed Racer, and they seem very overqualified for this film, especially what they've been given to do. But they play it, they're game for what it is. They actually seem to enjoy the kind of cartoonish aspects of the film and playing that up and fighting ninjas and building cars and doing all this stuff.
Oh, the ninja. I love the ninja stuff. I thought that was great.
Yeah, you call yourself a ninja when you beat someone up using wrestling moves.
Aye.
Yeah. But the thing is, they play it up so well, but they're still the warmth of a character you need, even though they're playing these kind of archetypes, but they still have a lot of warmth to them. They're still having fun with the ninja stuff and the monkey in the house and making pancakes and all that stuff. The family stuff's there, but
Yeah.
there's also the fantasy stuff, and they're really good. You think you need actors like to balance off who has enough skill to do it.
There's one character I thought was a bit of a waste. That was the mechanic character that hung about with the family, because he only had a couple of scenes.
Yeah.
Then at the end of the film, he's got a wee a scene that's probably supposed to mean something, but you've not really had much time explaining who he is for that. That scene kind of comes out of nowhere. So they could have replaced some of the kids' scenes with him.
I know. I was thinking more of him would have been better than some of the kids' scenes, and more of Christina Ricci would have been better than the kids' scenes as well, because she was good and she was a lot of
She's
fun.
not finished.
Yeah, but the thing is now when you actually have her driving a lot in the middle section.
See, that comes out of nowhere, because at one point it says you're always saying I'm a better driver than half these people, and I'm like, he's not once said that in this film.
I know it feels like it's a scene that's been cut out from earlier on, and you know and suddenly it's like, well, we'll just have to assume that he said it somewhere. But
Aye.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's one of those ones where it's probably a longer film and they had to cut some stuff down, and that was one of the things that get lost. But yeah, he kept lost some kid stuff and had that scene in because she was really good, and I quite liked the fact that there was this sort of innocent young love in the middle of the film. It wasn't cynical or anything. Like, she was into him, he was into her. he was very much a goody two shoes. She was a bit more a rebel, but she was a lot of fun as well, and she obviously loved him. And it was a nice relationship. It wasn't complicated. It wasn't trying to make it complicated in any way. You know, it was just like that's it. That's them. You know, which is nice. It's nice to see that sometimes in films.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that what I was saying? Yeah. Yeah.
It was a nice simple relationship. At least they didn't fall out through the film and have to make up. They were always on the same page.
Yeah, I hate that when obviously the characters are on the same page and then they have a breakup because they need something to happen in the film, and it's like, don't do that, it's boring. It makes them look pretty.
At least they never did it.
I know. They kept it pretty pure.
Because that wasn't the point of the film, the relationship.
No.
It was always just
there. Yeah. It was to point out the fact that he was a nice guy, and he was...
They were already in a relationship when the film started, so you didn't have that whole stupid, will they, won't they?
No, they were in a... Pretty much, they met up in school. She liked him. You know, he eventually noticed her because he was just a car junkie. Eventually noticed the girl, like, over years, probably. I quite liked the kid stuff now when he was a kid. He seems a kid. He's just this naive kid who's just into his thing. And he's just into that. That's all he's into. He doesn't care about anything else. Just, this is what I like. This is what I want to do. And that's what kids are like. They're into their thing. They don't care about your stuff. It's like, go away. I do not care.
I liked his wee sketchbook and all that, just covered in cars.
Yeah, I loved the bit now in the beginning where he's in the classroom and he's imagining him doing the his desk is a car and he's driving to win the Grand Prix. It's like that's so right for someone sitting in a classroom, a kid, because you'd imagine a lot of stuff when you're a kid in the classroom that was nothing to do with what you were taught. It was like that rings so true. It's like everybody's felt that way in a classroom before,
and in work.
Yeah. And anywhere, basically. Or during a podcast. Yeah.
I'm driving a race car right now.
What? Yeah. Yeah. Now, the car chases are a lot of fun because they've got lots of funny gadgets in the cars. Now, the thing I was thinking of, this thing does, because of bright colours, how lovely it looks. It kind of does what Batman and Robin was trying to do, which was have the bright colours and make it kind of cartoony, but completely failed at. And this one just pulls it off by being simple with it. They just don't overdo anything. They just keep it simple, keep the gadgets fun. They don't, do anything cringy. There's no cringiness involved. It's just, we're doing this, we're doing that. This is fun. We're doing this because it's a fun sequence, and that's it. They knew what they were doing. Yeah, they know what people want to see from a Speed Racer film. You want car chases, you want it to be cartoony, and you want the villains to be snivelling evil people who deserve to the cars crashed. But I quite liked how they paid off all the people, all the goons to try and take them out during the car chases. And you just saw the cartoony thing. They're all very... Some were like animals who were into like furs, some were into money, some were into jewellery. And it was just seeing who they were through simple little moments. And then that
made you wonder how did they end up driving cars.
I know. But also it meant that when you actually saw them in the car chase, you knew who they were instantly. Like you instantly understood who they were. And like what their gadgets were. Like one of them had gadgets. The ones who were the barbarians, like the furs, had basically had catapults and everything. They were just like animals.
Aye.
And the women who liked the diamonds were much cleverer and sneakier, and so it's setting up really nicely. But also like how when the car crashes, when the cars crash, the foam goes around them and they just bounce away like a ball. Which I thought was a nice little touch.
Just to show that they don't die.
You don't die. This is just what happens with them. So what are you going to say before I interrupt you?
I was going to say my favourite car chase in the whole film was the big truck where the gangster's office was in the truck, and you don't know it's in a truck at the time. Then it kind of zooms out and it's they're in a truck and he's getting chased by somebody. Yeah. I thought that was great.
And the Racer X, who's the brother of a Speed Racer who faked his own death and is now running
Played
down.
by someone else.
Say someone else, and he's running down all the gangsters who are in the racing world, and he's terrifying them all. And
Aye.
it's a fun.
It was a good scene.
Yeah, it's a fun character actually, because you actually are interested in him because he is mysterious and he keeps it. They don't overdo it. They just let you. You kind of know it's him, but let the mystery evolve as it goes. It doesn't really need to be overstated.
I like the fact that at one point they say, "You're my brother, aren't you?" Then it's like, "No, I'm no." And you're like, "Oh, I wonder who he is then." But then at the end it's like, "Oh, I was his brother."
Yeah,
I
just change his face. Yeah.
I got a face off.
Yes. We didn't do the Nicolas Cage thing, so alas.
Imagine Nicolas Cage played Professor X.
That would have been cool. That would have been insane.
Or Nicolas Cage in this film at all.
He'd been perfect for this film. This would be exactly. The visuals would be exactly his acting style. You know.
Aye, especially as a villain.
Yeah, no, he'd be amazing. He has to do a Wachowski film. He really does. He's perfect for them. You know.
Aye. He would chew that scenery.
Yeah, even if there's no scenery there, he was just CGI, he'd still chew it. You know.
He would chew on the green screen.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was that was a nice. Yeah, I know what you mean that sequence because suddenly the truck's flying all over the place and they're trying to shoot out and there's piranhas in the truck as well. He's got his piranha collection, which I thought was a nice touch.
I noticed rewatching is that once the chase kicks off, everything in the office is moving about a lot more because they're swerving. But if you pay attention when you're first in the office, you can see everything slightly moving, but you don't notice it unless you're looking for it.
Yeah.
So it's a nice pay attention to detail.
Yeah. And again, it's a nice cartoonish thing. It pushes it up a bit more. Like, and I liked a bit more the shot where Racer X is in front of them and he's driving towards them and he's firing at them and they're firing back and it's to the side, it's all red and it's a very video gamey thing. That's a lovely little bit, you know. And I also like the Monte Cristo chase as they're driving through the landscapes and they're going through like sand and then they're going through the mountainsides and it's all scenery, but it's all been so hyped up and so visualized that it all feels very kind of cartoonish. I thought it was very nice because all the roads were like impossible turns, you know, and you can climb up the walls of the track as well and overtake people by going spinning over the top of them via the off-road stuff, and it was just loads of fun. I mean, this is a film that needs a video game adaptation. That would be great. Tracks, some of those tracks would be great to actually play.
That's what I was going to say. It did get a video game adaptation, but only one console got it, and it was a Nintendo Wii, and it was a great game, a great driving game.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But no one else. It should have come out in other stuff.
I
wish it came out in the PS3.
Yeah, it's a crime.
It really is. It's a good game.
It's also just that world can make for a great game, great driving game. Because if you look at like the Sonic racing games or the Crash Team racing games and the Super Mario games, the racing games, they're all like this. Really.
Yeah.
You can just do this and make it a race. I also say the Speed Racer car was a really cool car. It's white. And the racing car, it looks gorgeous throughout.
That's a great looking car.
Yeah, the strips of red as well. It kind of reminds me of the Batmobile from the 60s. You know, that kind of style. That sort of retro
style. Basically.
Yeah. It's just wonderful looking. It drives so well. Plus, whenever you go to the side of it and then you see the tyres and everything, the way they've been, even though it's CGI, the way they've been shot, it looks great. Everything's been kind of worked out, even though it's a cartoon. It's all been worked out really well, so it looks gorgeous. So there's lots of nice, crazy stunts. I also really like now the ending, the actual like Grand Prix. The end actually kind of lives up to the hype because it becomes a different kind of race than the other ones. The other ones were a lot more fun.
All the other races, the races are all distinct from another, so they don't blend in, which I really like.
Yeah, because I mean the first one is just introducing them, and it's actually a normal race. It's just what's around them that makes it different. The second race is very much a snapshot as you see him basically getting done in by the villain. But they're going up and down the sides of tracks and stuff, and they're doing those massive jumps, and it's a lot of fun. The third one's the big Monte Cristo race, the kind of centrepiece, the cartoonish wacky races thing. And this last one is basically Grand Prix, whereas they're going speeding around all these tracks and they're going up and down, and everyone's out to get him. Like he's got a bounty on him, and they're all trying to kill him or destroy his car, and he's taking them out one by one. And it's just so much fun watching them trash all these cars. You know.
It really makes me want to see a Star Wars movie that's just pod racing.
Yeah.
Or a pod racing TV show.
Just something, yeah. Just give it to Wachowski. Just do the pod racing TV thing. Just do your thing, because this was just insane. Some of the stuff they're doing, like having some of the cars slam into the spikes and the thing bounces off. It really, the guy in the little bubble just bounces away after that. It was just nuts. I mean, it's one of those sequences of just they'd gone completely nuts in this thing. Plus, he's so determined to beat everybody, so he's going to trash them all one by one. You know.
Aye. I liked I don't know if it was the first race when he was racing the ghost of his brother, which was quite cool.
Yeah, it's an emotional thing. That. Yeah, I quite liked how there was the emotional stakes in any race. It wasn't just a race. The first one is the ghost of his brother. Second one is him learning everyone's effects. The third one, he's trying to do something to make the world a better place by protecting this other racer from the criminals. And the fourth one is for himself. Is actually he's got an opportunity. He's going to take all these buggers down one by one. You know.
Aye.
So he's very determined. So he's pretty much the first time he's not really being polite. He's just doing what he does, and he trashes the guy who's meant to be the legend. You know.
Aye.
Which is a nice bit. And just all the stuff with the car, just like and how it's you know, it's almost going off the side as it's doing these crazy turns and stuff, and they're doing the big jumps.
I like how it works in no matter what direction it's facing because of the way the wheels are in this film. It's awesome.
Yeah, it just because apparently they said the idea was it's a mix of driving and skateboarding, really.
Aye.
And that's what it does feel like. It feels like it's a track it's a magic track. He do magic stuff in his car, and that's all he does, and it's wonderful to watch. It's just a wonderful, silly film, and it knows it's a silly film and it embraces it.
Yes.
That's kind of the joy of it, is it embraces how silly it is. It's not trying to be a serious film, which I think a lot of kids' films should do a bit more of, and actually embrace what they are, rather than try and be sophisticated or something and end up making some cynical pap. You know, we've all seen those kids' films that are really cynical, and you feel like you should not show this to kids. This is not for them. This is, you know, there's no joy in some of these films. Do you know what I mean?
Aye. But this one's just a nice uplifting film. It's colourful. Enjoyed it.
Yep. I
really enjoy it.
Yeah. I'm always happy talking about Speed Racer because it always gives me an excuse to watch it again. You know.
That's true.
I've seen it quite a few times, and I'm like you. I don't watch it all the time. I like watching it once in a while and just having fun with it and sort of appreciate it again. I don't like watching it. I don't watch it like every year or something. I just like watching it once in a while when I really feel I need to watch it again.
Aye.
So, but I would love to see a 4K version of this one because this would look gorgeous in 4K.
It would look great in 4K.
Yeah, because I mean it looks great in 2K, and when I was watching it on my TV, which is a 4K upscale, it looked really bright and really gorgeous. I'm thinking how good it would look actually in 4K. It would look amazing to see. So I think that'd be a wonderful thing to have upgraded.
It would melt your brain.
Good. We need brain melting as we suffer through the coronavirus here. We need stuff like Speed Racer. We need these kind of films. What are you looking at?
I was looking at the Speed Racer Blu-ray.
Alright.
If for some reason it's in the wrong spot, so it stood out to me.
Oh. Yeah, James is a bit OCD when it comes to where his stuff's placed in his collection. He's a bit
I'll have
crazy.
to fix that when we're finished.
Yep. Well, was that as done for Speed Racer then? Do you have to say
I can't think anything else to say about it, other than if you've not seen it, watch it.
Yep. Go watch it, it's wonderful, it's really fun. It's a lot better than you'd ever expect it to be, or it has a right to be, really.
Is it on Netflix or Amazon?
I don't know. I've always had it in DVD or Blu-ray. I've just always had it since it came out. It's just like,
So,
well,
if it's on Netflix, check it out, people.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure you can find it somewhere. It is available. You can get it for almost nothing in Blu-ray.
That's pennies.
Yeah. So, if you're feeling something, just go and buy a Blu-ray. It's going to be pretty cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, we hope you enjoyed this, and we're back soon with another one. Right. Bye for now.